stop sign.
Whoa.
At like 65 miles an hour.
Woo!
Call us strange or different, whatever. But we actually are choosing to go the non-interstate route because we want to see the small towns. We want to, we want to be able to drive through the, lesser known parts of North Dakota. Just to see what most people don't see. Just the fields, the little ponds that are here and there, and little farms and such. Sometimes it makes it more fun because there is really nothing on the interstate. Like, you got a couple big cities and then nothing. But here, you got a chance to find something that most people won't find.
Welcome to the Adventure Closet. I'm Liz, and this is Charlie. We are two 80s and 90s kids that never lost their sense of wonder. We're all over the map, exploring wild and abandoned places, discovering rocks, geology, and history of different areas, all while living and traveling in our minivan Opal. I guess you can say our life is a mixtape of adventures. So hop in the van, hit the subscribe button, and let's go somewhere.
Some of these towns may not have seen a tourist in months. We're like way out in the middle of farmland, nowhere. So, not a lot of people are going to be driving this way. But that's pretty cool. Just to think that we could be the first people coming through this town in a long time.
You can tell they get a lot of snow. The fire hydrants have these long poles on them to detect them so that they can be found in the snow. They were probably, that one we saw was probably like, 5 feet high?
Yeah, it's pretty high. We're driving through Mercer. It looks like McClusky is 13 miles from this town. So, well, that's a cute little house.
Cheap.
Yeah, Ed's service. Oh, there is a recreation area here called Brush Lake Recreation.
Welcome to Mercer, 1905.
Established in 1905, huh?
With a picture of a buffalo on it.
And that's it. Oh, it looks like they're expanding. They're building a parking lot.
It's probably going to be Family Dollar.
Or a Walmart. I don't know. Actually, I looked and it doesn't look like there's any Walmarts on our route. Nice little church. And there we go. That was the town. So kind of cool seeing these little tiny towns just here and there. Surprisingly, even way out here, there's pretty good cell service most of the way. So we're able to, listen to music and answer comments as we go. I don't do it while I'm driving. This does comments while I'm driving. So we're in a town called Pickardville. It wasn't even listed. I guarantee you there was probably a population of less than 10 here.
Oh, yeah.
And the mailbox has a saddle on it. Yeah. I couldn't even pull the camera out fast enough. Goodbye, Pickardville. Small towns you never even heard of. They didn't have like a store or nothing. Just a couple houses and a couple grain silos. And it's not as flat as I would assume. So North Dakota does have some hills. It's definitely got some flat too, but it's not as flat as I would have assumed it would be. Check out that old house. Looks like we might be coming up on McClusky up there. I see a water tower.
Towns just keep coming.
Way in the distance there.
5, 996, 997, 998, 999, 1000.
Big old pile of rocks right there.
Yeah, there is.
Is that a river?
No.
Canal, yeah. The McClusky Canal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Welcome to McClusky, Geographical Center of North Dakota. Hey, they have a motel here. Now people pass through to have a motel? Wow. Beyond bookkeeping. Oh, that was the bar. There's nobody at the motel. You know, it's interesting, there's, in some of these ponds out here, there's sandpipers. And those are, I would think those are mostly a coastal bird. Bestie's Drive-In. Great food. So this must be a pretty good sized town. Got yourself a big old grain silo.
Continue on North Dakota 200 East for 51 miles.
All right, so they have their own city park here.
Bunch of snow plows.
A bunch of snow plows. Law office.
Take the next left onto Avenue C East, then turn left
Salon,
onto 2nd Street
insurance
East.
agency, a bank.
Post office.
Post office. Jellies and jams, and there's an eatery at the post office.
That also sells stuffed animals. So more businesses than Darrington.
Yeah. The ambulance service. Not a fire, just an ambulance. That's here. It's strange. Got boards across the doors in these two. The old McClusky Bar and Grill. A mechanic shop. And time to go. It's interesting to see those power poles just kind of go right through these ponds. Some of them are just sitting in the water too. Like they didn't even try going around. So that town was the geographical center of North Dakota, and this is what the middle of North Dakota looks like.
So far, this is really similar to what all of North Dakota that we've seen so far has looked like.
Yeah,
Except this area has a lot of lakes and ponds.
it does. Yeah. And there's a hawk on that pole right there. These poles haven't been strung yet.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of odd.
That is very odd. Does the town have power?
Probably comes in a different direction. So we just passed over a sign that said Continental Divide. 2,035 feet. I don't see any mountains dividing the continent. So that's kind of strange. That was the strangest Continental Divide crossing we've done yet, I think. You know, I wonder if that was like the middle of the nation Continental Divide, not the actual Continental Divide. Because Continental Divide comes up through Montana, I believe. So maybe we just crossed the middle point of the United States. It's possible. Pretty far east now. Well, I guess that's all relative. So this should be the town of Goodrich. We're gonna have to turn in order to get to the town because it's not really on the road. And the main road is not paved. Not a very big town here.
It's very neat and clean.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been the city park over there. Oh. Bunch of old farming equipment. Yeah, all the grass here is nicely kept. There's a city park there.
Looks like there's a restaurant.
Looks like we got water and a restroom here. Sweet. Park is open Memorial Day to Labor Day. Suggested donation is $15 a night. Yeah, so I guess you can camp here. Got one camp spot. Yes, sir. I guess there's showers here too. That's nice. Yeah, so you got showers and a toilet and a sink here. I wonder if the sink's off and that's what the water bottle's for. I don't know. We'll find out.
Never seen such a quiet town.
Across the street from the park, there's a museum. Sheridan County Museum. A little sign on the door, let's see what it says. So basically, if you want to tour the museum, there's a list of people to call. But this looks like an old schoolhouse. It's really hard to see in there through here. But there's a main museum in this large building back here as well. And an old windmill right there. An old water pump. Some old farming equipment. Adams Leaning Wheel Grader. Number 10. Manufactured by J.D. Adams and Company, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Serial number 9122. So it's an old road grader pulled by horses, I guess? Or maybe an old vehicle. This looks like an old crane. Hand operated. Wow. Look at these old Ford wheels. Oh, that's pretty cool. Mercer company. Montline, Illinois. Look at this. This is kind of cool little relief on here of a deer. Oh yeah, this is a cool little museum in the middle of this small town. Goodrich, North Dakota. This is the kind of stuff you miss if you're just taking the interstate. It's definitely nice to see small towns like this. I mean, this town is immaculate. All the grass around here is just like the same length. Like everybody mows the same day, it seems like. And they have these beautiful museums that are obviously quite old. So it actually looks like there's two spots with hookups. There's that one, and then there's another one over here. And they look like they have power and water. And it says suggested donation of $15 a night here at the Goodrich City Park. Do you guys remember the merry-go-round? Don't see those too much anymore. And the wide slide.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Good stuff in this old town. There is a gas station in this town. The one on the left says gasoline, and the one on the right says diesel on road. That's cool.
You must have to knock on the door or something and they unlock it, or
Yeah, I don't know how it
maybe
works.
it's the honor system.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so that's the small town of Goodrich.
It's adorable.
It is. It was so quiet here. Like, we didn't hear anybody. We heard one person hammering a little bit, but other than that, nothing. Cute little town. All right, back on the road. Miss Basketball North Dakota's from here.
Yeah.
2006.
2006.
There's another example of the power lines going through the water here.
That's so weird.
Yeah. All right, on to the Great Wide Open. And it looks like we're about to hit rush hour here. Too wide to pass. Hopefully nobody's coming over that hill. Jeez. Yeah, I think he might be letting me pass. Yep, he's letting me pass. Continental Divide sign again. Out here. So, very strange Continental Divide. I didn't think it went through North Dakota. We later found out that North America actually has 6 continental divides. The one that is most talked about is the Great Continental Divide. This one is the Laurentian Divide, also called the Northern Divide, which is the green line on this map. And we crossed this divide a few more times in this video. You know, I don't even think I've seen a police car at all in North Dakota. And we've driven through a lot of the state, so looks like we're coming up on another town here. Herdsfield. Alright. Quaint little town. What do you got here? Established in 1902. And it looks like there's gas and grocery and all that stuff supposedly here. Camping? Should we check it out? This is a service center. Does not look open. There's a gas station. Let's take this road here. Just give it a look-see. Alright, a little more modern gas station in this town. Single pump, no convenience store. The main street here is paved, but the side streets are gravel. Here's Main Street. So let's check Main Street out. Oh yeah. Main Street's paved. We got Bad Ice Bar, Schmidt Beer. Got an old cafe. Post office. That bar looks like it's seen better days.
The sign says keep out on the cafe. I don't think it's open anymore.
Probably not. You got a big old community center and a farm and family center. There's a little cute little building right here. And a city park, it looks like.
Yeah.
Got a nice little gazebo and
Well.
water. Oh, $20 per night, so you can stay here as well. These three lots. These 3 lots donated by Mike Laughlin. Oh, another merry-go-round. It's an old
Potty.
school.
That's an old one.
Oh yeah. I can't really get zoomed in on these. That old porta potty there. And they got some new park. With the grain silos in the background. In the center of town, up on a hill here, is the church. But yeah, none of these side streets are even paved at all. We're heading back to the highway.
And then again, everybody's yards are so neat and tidy.
Oh yeah, that is true. Like, everybody must mow on the same day.
And hardly any fences.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that either. That's a good point. There's Opal's sister. That thing looks like it's higher than Opal. Probably because it's not loaded with stuff. A little booty avenue right there. Cool little grain silo gazebo.
That's cute.
That's a good idea. That'd be easy to make. And thus concludes our tour of Hertzfield, North Dakota.
Beautiful.
Yep. On our way. See what the next city says.
City.
Carrington, 39 miles.
Ooh, that's a ways away. But if you go that way, there's Harvey in 23 miles.
Yeah. So, how do these people do it out here? That they don't have, big stores. They don't have, convenience stores. No fast food. No nothing out here. It's just like you're in the middle of farmland and just living. Like, how do you afford farmland? Like small town gas prices, small town grocery store. Like, if there wasn't a grocery store in that town. So yeah, how do you afford that?
This is the funnest part about North Dakota is seeing the little towns.
Yeah. There's lots of charm out here. So it's pretty flat here in North Dakota. Still has its own charm though. There's still a lot of lakes and ponds around. You know, surprisingly, there are a bit of dead raccoons on the road. So, that sign says quack. Just thought I'd throw it out there. But lots of hay. Just sitting out in the sun. Oh no, we're in trouble now. There's a sign here that says quack quack.
I'd say that hay is probably the biggest crop in North Dakota.
Yeah.
And corn maybe being second.
Yeah. At least the parts we've driven through.
And then sunflowers third.
Yes, there was a lot of sunflowers. That one said quack quack quack.
What is happening?
I don't know.
They've gone cuckoo out here.
Was one of them gonna say goose?
I looked it up, and the biggest crops in North Dakota are number 1 soybean, second is corn, and third is wheat.
Wonder if those are soybeans. Could be.
Maybe. Soybeans don't grow well where we're from, so I've never really seen them.
In Washington.
In Washington, yeah.
This guy's going to Bowdoin.
Oh yeah, those might have been soybeans.
It's like Bowdoin has a duck fest, third weekend in September.
Oh.
That's what the quack's all about.
Aha.
Bowdoin's that way. Fortunately, we're not gonna hit every small town on this tour of North Dakota. But yeah. Another day, Bowdoin. Another day.
We just got detoured because they were doing road work, but apparently if you go down this road, you'll end up in another town here in North Dakota. The guy had a cool North Dakota accent, but I can't do it right now.
Okay, so we've been continuously heading east, and this is the third time we've crossed the Continental Divide in North Dakota. I don't understand how we can keep going east and hit it 3 times. It's weird. And again, this is the flattest Continental Divide ever. Okay, I don't get this at all. We're on the same road, heading east, and here is another Continental Divide sign. We're probably like 10 miles east of the last one. What is it? Can somebody explain this to me? How we keep crossing the Continental Divide over and over and over and over and over again? That's what, 4th time?
Maybe it's Groundhog's Day.
Oh gosh.
We're stuck in North Dakota.
On Groundhog's Day. This would not be a good Groundhog's Day.
I feel like I've seen this field before.
Oh look,
More corn.
more corn.
Oh no, that's like rains.
Yeah, no, there's a lake here. This is Lake Co. C-O-E. It's kind of a big lake for the area. Nice. Oh, there's another part of the lake over there. It's quite the lake. But yeah, how many divisions of the continent can we cross in one day? I see another green sign up here. I wonder if it's Continental Divide sign. Nah, it's not big enough.
Probably telling us about the next town of 20 miles.
Yeah. We're back to some hills. Another beautiful lake. But, yeah, it wasn't like that much of totally flat stretch. Maybe 65 miles or so.
Getting into the mountains.
Yeah.
North Dakota mountains.
North Dakota mountains.
It's the Cheyenne River.
It's the Tolna Dam. Little sandpipers just some of them are sliding.
It's so cute.
Check out this old merry-go-round. Just whipping up some lunch here. What are we having, dear?
We're doing a one-pot pasta spaghetti kind of thingy, but without spaghetti noodles.
Ah. Spaghetti kind of thingy. Good stuff. We're actually thinking about staying here. It's free camping. It says free camp. The first 3 nights are free. Will donation. Doesn't say with. It says will. But the donation box has been obliterated and it's on the ground, so there's no real way to donate. It's got bathrooms, garbage, and waterfront. It's beautiful, yeah. On Google Maps, this is marked as the Tolna public boat access. It's 30 minutes from where we were going to stay. We were going to stay at a city park in Michigan, North Dakota. That's also a free camping site. But, I mean, this is not in a city, which is a plus. The town of Tolna is over that way. We didn't even drive through it. We just stayed on this main highway here. But there's a nice fire pit. There's actually a grill over there. Merry-go-round, swings, boat launch. There's that dam with the birds. And some nice trees. Everything is mowed nicely here in North Dakota, which is very strange. Maybe the grass just doesn't grow super fast and they just have to mow it like once or twice. But, yeah.
We've been getting some work done, and Charlie's taking a break to get some dinner going. I'm not sure what he's making, though. I'm sure it'll be good and interesting. Well, since we are staying at this spot, and it is a donation spot, but the donation box is broken, so you can't leave money, I am going to tidy up the bathroom a little bit just to kind of do my part for this campground that we're going to stay at for free. So this is the women's room. And you can see there's spider webs. There is some cleaner here and some paper towels, so I'm just gonna do kind of a quick tidying and help out. I don't know if you can tell, but that is so much better. And I feel less guilty about not donating. Woo! Charlie made curried rice with garbanzo beans and carrots. It smells amazing. Yum.
I don't know if Liz told you, but we saw a snake earlier today. Pulled my camera out to try and get a shot, but it was too quick. It was this little tiny, it was like that thin, and it was the most beautiful green I had ever seen on a snake. It's called a smooth green snake. I'll try and find a picture and put one right here, but it is just this bright green little snake, and it's just a little tiny thing. And it is not poisonous, but pretty cool to actually see a snake finally. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen a snake. Been working the day away here since they've had power. And it's getting a little dark, so packing it in and gonna hit the hay. And tomorrow, ooh, you guys hear that? I just heard. There's coyotes over there. Coyotes right over here. That's cool. I love the sound of coyotes. Well, it was a beautiful stay, right next to the bathroom, right next to the reservoir. It's cold out there.
It's super cold.
Yeah. All right, hitting the road, on to the next adventure. Just want to give you guys an update. More farmland. That's what we're seeing. It's not bad, not the worst thing in the world. What we have noticed though is it's mostly crops and not a lot of cows. Like you would think, oh, that's cool. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Yeah. But there's a few cool old farmhouses like that one, which is now hidden behind the trees.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah. But yeah, so not a lot of cows, a lot of crops, still a lot of ponds and lakes. There's one over there. There is quite a bit of corn, some soybeans, and a lot of like marshy reeds and stuff. What I find odd is there's a lot of dead raccoons, and I always thought raccoons lived with the trees, but there's not a whole lot of trees out here. I mean, there's more than I expected. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know. We'll tell you if we see something more exciting. But this is not bad. Smooth sailing. This is probably going to be the biggest town we're passing through so far. I noticed there is actually street lights in this town, which, wow, fancy. This is the town, I think this is like, oh, it's Northwood, established in 1884.
Wow, that's one of the older towns.
Yeah, big old tractor farm. Gas station. Oh, the actual town, I guess, is down that way. Gas has been a steady $3.69 the whole time. Dollar General again.
That nice fellow thought you were waving at him.
Oh, well, that was nice of him. Maybe I was. I was waving with my camera.
Grain silos are the skyscrapers of the country. They're always the biggest buildings you see coming up.
Yeah, that and water towers.
Yeah. I'm just really noticing how neat and tidy the homes are in North Dakota. Like, every neighborhood, all the houses look like their lawns are manicured and they have nothing in their yards. Like, nothing. And that's just so weird because that's not the case everywhere else in the country. So I wonder if there's a reason. My speculation is that maybe they get a lot of wind and stuff, and that's why they gotta keep their lawns so tidy, but there's like no fences either. I don't know, it's the strangest thing. It's very pleasing to the eye though.
All those silos. Make it grain.
Make it grain. That'd be a good name for a grain company.
Yeah.
Make it grain. Why are you not the boss of all things?
Me?
Yeah.
Because
Except for the boss of me, you can't be that.
I don't want to be the boss of all things. It's the town of Thompson.
So, a lot of the houses have full-on dumpsters too.
Probably once a month garbage service.
Maybe. We are about to cross another new state off of our list. We just recently did South Dakota, then North Dakota, which is where we're at right this second.
Well, I mean, so far we've done Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, and now we are coming up on Minnesota.
Since we left Washington last. But
Yeah.
we've been to Texas,
California, Nevada, Utah,
New Mexico,
Arizona, New Mexico,
Colorado,
yeah, Colorado,
Oregon,
yeah, Oregon,
California. You said California.
I said California,
Is that everybody? Wyoming?
yeah, we said Wyoming.
And you said Utah. Yeah. And we stepped our foot into Mexico.
Yeah, we did.
But the only states that we've been to... Oh, is this the border?
This is the border.
Can you guys guess what state we're crossing into?
I kind of already told you.
Oh, you did?
Welcome to Minnesota.
Thanks, Google.
Hey, look,
Wow.
Minnesota's kind of flat.
It is kind of flat. And it looks kind of like North Dakota.
Yeah, a little bit. This is what I expected, though.
Yeah. We're in very northern Minnesota. Yeah. Western
Oh yeah,
Minnesota.
yeah, that was northeastern North Dakota.
Right.
Too many directions at once.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what Minnesota life is about.
So how many does this make? So Washington, California, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas,
need one of those maps.
Yeah. Blew a stop sign
Whoa.
at like 65 miles an hour. That's the first thing I did in Minnesota was blew a stop sign.
Break the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. All right, we're gonna.
Yeah.